Good morning and welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Right, so the market is setting up nicely. There's been trades that we've been running. It's going great. All right, so let's get started with this week's analysis. Just apologies for the earlier start today. Actually not around my trading room today. I've been traveling this weekend, so I'm doing this from a single laptop. So that should not distract us. I should be still able to do this for the next hour and a half. So it's an amazing webinar. We're going to see a lot of clear direction in this webinar today. So stay tuned. It's going to be very interesting. Hope you've been enjoying the webinars, the last couple of webinars. All right, so but let's get started with, firstly, just don't forget, if you're watching the video for the first time, when you go to any of these videos, open any of the videos if you're looking for a specific pair. You don't have, I know the video is an hour and a half and nobody wants to go through an hour and a half at once, or you just want a specific pair, you go to any of the videos. On the description, you will find a tab that's says show more, and this is what this tab looks like. So the tab looks something like this. Before the comments, let's just get that one right. I need to go to show less first. These are the comments. Okay, click on show more. That's where you'll find it. If you click show more, then you will find all the pairs that we're going to discuss here tonight, this morning, that we're going to analyze this morning. All of them time-stamped. Makes it very easy to look at all these pairs. You just go and click on any of them. For example, if I click on Euro US dollar, it will take you straight to the Euro US dollar analysis. Unfortunately, there are ads now, but it will take you right where EURJPY analysis start. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so those who are interested in the course, we've just completed our course about 2 weeks ago, and it was it's always amazing for the guys who attend the course how much more there is to learn other than just these webinars, because some wonder if there is any more to the Elliott wave theory than what I'm giving here. What you are seeing here is only the front view of a very long process. Okay, you're seeing the front end of a very long process. It's like a performance. Anybody who does any performance arts or anything on stage, what you see there is the final product. You don't know how much work goes in the background. And this is exactly what happens here. There's a whole lot of work. There's a whole lot of analysis. There's a whole lot of levels that we don't discuss here. So that is something that we do during the course. So you will not necessarily be a pro trader just looking at these webinars. Yes, they do give you a direction and they can assist you if you already have your own strategy. These webinars may assist you. So the next course is going to be on the 10th of September. Actually, we're starting the next course tomorrow. We're starting the next course tomorrow, which is the 6th of August. And if you missed this one, you can still join the one in September. So the nice thing about the course is you don't have to wait for September, because the course is also fully packaged on videos. There's over 20 hours worth of video materials that is packaged on for the course that you can start watching as soon as you signed up for the course. So that helps you to start learning as soon as you join us. So that's what you get. You get that material, and we give you access to the premium group until you get to attend your live session next one, which will be tomorrow. That we're starting the next one tomorrow, and after that the next one is in September. The cost is $529 US. That is a once-off cost, and that is valid. You get access to our group for 2 years. Okay, so some ask me, what if after 2 years I still want to be in the group? So, then my answer is, if you still need me after 2 years, then you did not learn properly. But I've never had anybody who still needed to learn more after 2 years. Some just want to stay because they want to be in the community of Elliott waivers. Okay, so we've got a group of 250 Elliott waivers. So that means 250 people look at the market the same way. So if you are in the group and you're seeing something different, then we ask why, and then we interrogate it. There's nothing wrong with having different ideas. That's what promotes learning. So that's how the course and the group assists you. in the learning. So that's all about the course. If you're interested, rather just send me an email. You will get a response. I've got an automated email that will just send you a response with all the details that you require for the course. That's if you're interested in that. All right, so let's get started with, as usual, we're going to start with a trade recap. So I don't know if this is going to be nicely set up. I'm only going to show you the setups that we've been running for the last couple of days that have shown you a few, even last week, some are still running. So let's have a look. I'm going to open my channel. This is the channel, this is the platform that we use for our premium group. You can see that there is every single pair listed there. That's what you get. If you needed an idea on any pair, you get it on any of these channels here. So I need to go to my channel here. So this is just where I put on the summary of the trades that we are running. Let's just go back here. So you will only see the before and the before setups before. So let's go through that. So the one that I have here is it's actually very it's actually a setup that was done in May last year. Was it May? Okay, May last year. This was a pound US dollar. You can see here pound US dollar. If you go check your charts, you'll see that we had this push, but it did not get to this level. Instead, it reversed here. That's what we were anticipating. I thought it was going to push a little bit higher before it reverses. So it reversed here, and we have been trading that from this level. Okay. Okay. So just looking at the text there. Right. So I thought there was a question. So let's carry on. So this is what happened here with this one. Just go check your charts. This was the setup. We wanted it to come down, and now we're coming down. We're going to update that as we go on. So this is how pound US dollar has played out since last year. You can see that we tracked this. This is what happened. Came and tagged, even though it didn't push higher like we wanted it to. Doesn't really change anything, because we know that when it reverses, it gives you an opportunity to enter, and that is exactly where we entered. And we're still running this, and we're going to update what's going on with this when we start getting into the analysis. So here's just the trade recap. All right, so that's pound US dollar, and here you've got pound CAD. Pound CAD is amazing. You'll see when we do the analysis on pound CAD and pound AUD. So you can see that all these 1, 2, 3 moves we have traded to the upside, and now we have reached the full target here. And last week, when we did the analysis, we had just been on the target, and I said we're just going to get a bounce here. I expect this to continue. Okay, so there are a number of options that you get when you're trading, number of alternatives. So what I give you here is my preferred bias or my preferred alternative. And if I've got more than one, I'll tell you what to wait for, what confirmation you need to watch out for. And if you know anything about the Elliott wave theory, you'll be able to know which one to go for. So having 2 alternatives does not mean you don't know the direction. You just need to get more information to confirm. All right, so that's the after of pound CAD. It is actually now breaking. It is actually now starting to break here. So as I said last week, I said I expect this to carry on. I don't expect a bounce here. I don't expect this correction here because you'll see why I don't expect it as we do the analysis. Okay, so this is EURCAD now. You see here, that's the beauty of the Elliott wave theory. You don't just focus one move. You focus a number of moves. You focused into the future. Okay, so here we wanted to get this correction and a push higher into the blue box, and you can see that right into the blue box, we got all this move now. We only here a few pips before this target here. And similarly with pound CAD, I'm not expecting this one to bounce or reverse here. I'm expecting continuation. Okay, so that's how that one is going. So we're going to update that as we go. And this now is EURCAD. So this was after you got the first drop, and I updated that you're going to get a bit of a move to the upside to propel this move to the downside. So that's what you get, the benefit you get for being in the premium group. You get these updates. Okay, so this is how it's going. This was last week actually. Now it's already here. Okay, so you can see how accurate that is. Even if the market is not trending as we wanted it to, we are still able to trade these corrections because we understand how the market moves. Okay, so this is now pound JPY. Okay, this move has already played out, and you guys know that we are now trading this. You'll see on the daily that we've got 1, 2, 3 moves down. Okay, so this is the 4 hour. You'll see on the daily, I actually show that we want this to come all the way down. That is what happened. You got a push higher, that is on the 1 hour, and now you're getting this push to the downside. This is now around this level, and the initial target should be here. And this is the daily chart, so it's a number of pips to the downside. If you've been watching these webinars, you should be in a lot of money. Okay, so that's what we do. So what I do here is for the guys in the premium group, what we do is we identify direction, and once you've got the direction, you don't look anywhere else other than the direction of the trend. So, but the challenge is mostly is to identify the trend. So you never go against the trend. But what is the trend? The trend goes in the direction of the sequence, and that's how we get this right. You just, so for example, if you've got this one here, what you're only going to do is every time you get a correction, you keep selling. That's what I've been saying for the last couple of days. Just keep selling this. So somebody sent me a text on PoundCAD last week, and they said PoundCAD looks strong. The pound looks strong. So we don't use such terms because they are very misleading. Things like, for example, Euro US dollar is going up, it's going down. It doesn't mean anything. Where is it going? Where is it coming from? That's what we should be looking at. You know, so you need to have specific parameter, because those terms just excite people unnecessarily. All right. So now this is a Euro US dollar. You can just go check your charts. This is how Euro US dollar. US dollar JPY is playing out. We wanted it to come down here. You'll see even the last week's analysis has played out to the pip. We wanted this to bounce back, and it has bounced, and now we're going to update from what happened here. Okay, so now let's go into the analysis, and that is just to show you how these webinars work and how you can benefit from them, because that is the kind of accuracy that we're getting. So last week as always, we always start with Euro, US dollar, and the US dollar currency index correlation. And I spoke about the seminar that we did on market correlation in our group last week. That is so amazing. So with the seminar, the main thing to take away from the seminar was the strength of the correlation. Somehow all these pairs, I mean, they work, all these currencies, these pairs, they are not isolated. You cannot have one currency that is completely isolated from the market. They are mostly correlated. So the only difference will be the strength of the correlation. Okay, so there is a way to calculate that strength so that you can be able to use market correlation to assist you in your trading. And by the way, market correlation is an essential part of trading the Elliott wave theory, because you need to be able to understand that the market does not move in isolation, they move together. All right, so I hope you can see this one clearly. So I'm only going to update this last piece here on the daily on both. You guys know what is happening with these ones. We're looking at a one. Okay, now we're looking at Euro US dollar DXY correlation. So you guys know what is happening with this move. We're looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, and then this is a possible 5 here, and then we're going to update why we're looking at it as a possible 5. So similarly here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and a possible 5. I'm saying a possible 5 because there's a chance that this is not a 5 but a 3, and we're still going to get one push higher or lower. But let's update this and see how this is going. So last week I said, when you look at correlation, the one pair can give you a better structure than the other. And I'm just going to zoom here on the daily on both pairs. Bottom is the DXY. So the DXY last week, we were looking at this one as a ending diagonal. Okay, ending diagonal like that. You see here, you don't necessarily have a clear structure on Euro US dollar, but you can see a clear ending diagonal on the dollar index. So last week we were here, okay, we were right here, and then we said we needed to get a push higher. Why was I looking for a push higher? Because this is your 3, this is your 4, right? And if this is your 4, your 5 could be ending as a diagonal. So this is what your 5 could look like: 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 here. Okay, so that's why we wanted it to push higher, and that is what happened. Right, so Euro US dollar, I still want you to go and look at the webinar I did about 3-4 weeks back, I think it's about 3 weeks back, where I showed you 4 similar patterns on this pair. Just scroll back on some of my webinars and go straight to Euro US dollar and check for that, because what is playing out here is exactly what we've analyzed. I'm looking for this pattern here to complete here and get a bounce here in 3 waves before we come down. Okay, because that's what those structures gave us. But we need to look at it in detail. We cannot just look at this because of a similar pattern. It still needs to follow the sequence. Okay, so let's have a look here at how the sequence is going. So what I'm looking at here, I'm looking at this one as a 3-wave move to the upside, and we've got a 1, 2, 3 waves coming down. I still expect a little bit of a drop here and a bit of a move to the upside some more. Maybe even take this one here. And if we take that one, we're still going to need to get one more down again, because now what you're going to have is this one. I need to draw it clearly. It's one here. It's 2. This whole thing is a 2, and then it's a 3. If that is the case, what you're going to have here is this 1, 2, 3, and you're going to have a complex correction like that. So that will be the move that you'll be looking at, and that move is the 3-wave move to the upside before we come down. Okay, so this can still be a more sideways, still a bit of a drop. You can remember that I've been looking for this to bounce up from here, but that doesn't change anything, because once this structure is completed, you know you're going to get this move. Because the trend, if you look on the daily or on the weekly, the trend here is down. Now, if you just look at this perspective, let me just show you this perspective, and you tell me if this looks like a market that is going down. So let's just look at Euro US dollar. Okay, maybe I'll show you this one on Euro US dollar. Just look at this. This is a big drop to the downside. Why would you think that this is going to reverse all the way up? So what we're doing here is just to wait for this correction to complete, because when this correction completes, we may get another move similar to this all the way down. Okay, so that's what we're waiting for, and this is a daily move, and that's over 500-600 pips that we're going to be looking at. Okay, so now the clear structure is with the DXY. So let's look at this DXY. I shouldn't have taken that up. So we need. I'm going to look at the DXY now before we look at Euro US dollar, because that structure is very clear. So I'm going to go back to one chart. Let's look at the DXY dollar index. Let's go dollar index and see something very interesting on the dollar index. So watch the dollar index and that diagonal that we're speaking about here. That is your diagonal. That is your diagonal. So far, it is a textbook diagonal with a 1, 2, 3. Let's do that in yellow. You've got 1, you've got 2. Internally here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is your 5 internally. And what you have here, let's do this here, is going to be 3, 4. Looks like it's in the lower degree. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. You see that even the pulsing waves are not forced. So we are looking for this one to complete as a diagonal. So this is possibly a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and then we are going for a 5 here. Maybe a push higher. That's why I'm saying Euro US dollar may push a little bit lower before it reverses. So if that is the case, and this is the internal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you're going to expect that you get a correction like this. Okay, a correction like that, and we've seen it so many times before. So this is still pushing up. We will expect that we're going to push a little bit higher to number 5. So don't be surprised, because this can actually push out of wave 5 and give you a throw over. So that will not invalidate the push above this boundary here, will not invalidate this setup. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at. So if we now go to the 4-hour on the dollar index, so you are getting a corrective structure here. So that shows you that you're going to get some continuation to the upside a little bit more. Okay, so you need to wait for this to push a little bit higher. Okay, just to that boundary. So I'm not interested necessarily in buying this, because I will be interested when this move start correcting to the downside, because it has already moved so far. Okay, so now let's look at Euro US dollar. Euro US dollar is similar. So if you're just looking on the 4-hour on Euro US dollar, you'll see that it is also correcting right here, showing you that you're going to have one more down, and that will be this structure 1, 2, 3 there. Okay, so very interesting structure that you're going to be looking at. So I'm still looking for this, even if this takes right this level here. If this takes this level right here, that will be fine. Okay, so we're going to start watching this come down here like that. It may even come down with a V pattern before we get a bounce that we're looking for to the upside. Okay, so that's how we're looking at Euro US dollar and the dollar index. Okay, so let's carry on with the rest of the US dollar pairs. They are now so clear. The direction is now very clear. If you look at pound US dollar, okay, pound US dollar, if you're looking on the 4-hour, so that's the pair that I showed you on trade recap that we focused that it's going to break this top before coming down. Okay, so the top has been broken and now we're coming down with this 5-wave move, and then we're looking at this one as a wave 5 or a diagonal, ending diagonal. Okay, so if that is the case here on pound, let's do it with straight lines, show the diagonal there. Let's show the diagonal in blue. Okay, so this is what you're going to have there. See, that's the diagonal. Let's not force it, let's do it properly. Let's clean it out. So your diagonal looks something like this. Okay, so that's your diagonal on pound. So you're looking at this one as a 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it gonna drop a little bit further down? Okay, let me just do that with a clearer color so you can see. Let's do it with yellow. All right, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. 3, 4, and we're looking at this 2, and with a diagonal, and this is how this diagonal is internally. 1. Just excuse my mouse, guys. My mouse pad is very slippery. That's why. So you got 1 here, you got 2, you got 3. We're looking at this as a 4, and then we're looking at this one to push lower for a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending diagonal here. After that, we're gonna expect a 3-wave bounce correction to correct all of this. So you can see that from this top here, there's never been any correction. So we need a bigger one here like that. So we will expect that with a move like this, you must have a strong divergence. I think I should have shown you that strong divergence on the dollar index on the daily. I'll show you just now. So let's see if we've got that divergence here on the pound. Yes, we clearly have the divergence. I should have shown you that divergence on the DXY. Right, so you got clear divergence, you're getting higher highs, higher highs. This is making lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. You see, so eventually we're gonna have, so this divergence does not mean a trend reversal. Divergence just tells you that you're gonna have a reaction. So the kind of reaction that you're gonna get, whether it's an impulsive move or a corrective move, depends on the sequence. So divergence just tells you, watch out, you're about to get that reaction. Okay, so here we still expect in the next week that we get a further drop to the bottom before we get a 3-wave bounce. It may not even be this big, but that's what we're going to be expecting. Okay, and nothing disqualifies this from going to retest this top here. Okay, but we're not looking for that. We're just looking for a 3-wave bounce and a continuation to the downside. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at. So let me just go back to the DXY. I should have shown you that clear divergence on the DXY on the daily. You cannot miss it. Okay, so look out for this here. You can see there's a clear indication that you are going, as much as this is making higher highs, it's making higher highs. What is the RSI doing? It's making lower lows. It's making lower lows. Okay, so we're making lower lows here on the RSI. So that's what you're going to be looking at. You've got clear divergence. So that's why I'm looking for this to drop in 3 waves to the downside like that. Okay, obviously that drop is not a trend reversal, it's a correction that is going to be correcting this whole move before we get a move to the upside. As you've seen, Euro US dollar is still bearish, medium to long term. So that you should not miss that. Okay, so let's carry on with the rest of the pairs here. Let's look at US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD. So US dollar CAD, let's get this one here. If you're looking on the daily here, you've got this one made a 3-wave move to the downside. Let me just check on the chat box. Okay, Karis is saying, can you get access to my channel? Everything that is on my channel. So Karis, let's talk about this in the premium group. Okay, so everything that is in my channel is in trade setups. I just copy trades from my setups and put it on my channel just for the purpose of this webinar. So there's nothing that is on my channel that you do not have access to. Okay, so that's a premium group question. Okay, Right, so let's carry on here. So US dollar CAD has gone down in 3 waves. So I'm expecting a bit of a bounce here, a bounce in 3 waves possibly. So let's have a look here on the lower degree. Let's go 4 hour. You can see that it is making a V pattern, what we like to call a V pattern in our group, this one. So this pattern is telling you that you're going to have a bit of a reaction here, whether it's going to be like something like this or even retest the top. If it retests the top, then it's going to change the structure and it's going to make this one give us another one to the upside. But if it does not get to the top, the structure will be different and it will be just to this, and then we get another 3 wave to the downside, and we will still get a move to the upside. You can see that this is corrective, it's not going down at this stage. So we need to get that bounce. So let's check here. You're getting also clear divergence. Okay, you're getting divergence very clear. So that's what you're going to be look out for a bounce. Okay, look out for a bounce. But I don't prefer to trade this bounce. So what I prefer is when I get something like this. When I get something like this, you keep selling this. Remember, we sold this when it broke this top here, and now we got that move. It corrected. You sold again. You can even have sold there after it corrected, and now you're getting this move. So if you're in this trade, you may want to exit and wait for this to correct like that, and then you're gonna get another entry. Okay, so that's how US dollar CAD looks at this stage. Okay, so this may be a 3-wave move, and that will be all the correction. If this is all the correction, then you're gonna get the last one to the upside. If I just go to the daily, show you what I'm looking at, daily. So if you look on the daily, this structure that we're looking at is similar to this one here. We're looking for a similar structure as this one, similar structure as this one. I think I've shown you a trade on US dollar CAD that we took on this one, forecasting this whole complex correction from the start to the end and eventually selling it right onto the tip. If anybody's interested, I'll show you again next week if I remember. So we are looking for a similar structure, and we're looking for this possibly here, if I clear this, to possibly be the last 3-wave move down for another 1, 2, 3 before we drop. Similarly to what we have here, 1, 2, 3 down and a 1, 2, 3 back to the top, break the top and come straight down like that. So that's what we're going to be looking at, giving you this whole correction like this. And then we're going to update and see what correction is playing out. But we know that if we get a sell there, our next target will be right here, about 1,000 pips to the downside. Okay, so but all in all, this whole thing is a big correction. This is a big correction here. Everything here is a big correction, and not even a triangle, because I'm not even looking at this as a triangle, but I'm looking at this as a channel that will do something like this. Okay, so that's how we're looking at US dollar CAD. Okay, now we look at US dollar CHF. Okay, so US dollar CHF on the daily. If you remember last week, we actually sold here. We actually sold because we had this correction playing out like this. We had forecasted that correction. We actually sold here. After the correction is completed. Let's just clear that. So we had this correction 1, 2, 3 sold here. It's still on the daily. You'll see a clear sell setup on the 4 hour when you come down. So now it did not break down and give us this move that we were looking for. We're looking for this one here. So what happens when something like that changes? So that's why when you trade, you should not have a bias. Okay, and when circumstances change, you must know why it's changing and what structure it is making. In this case here, it looks like it wants to give us another 1, 2, 3 to the upside. So that's making this one a WXY move before we get this one to the downside. Before we get 1 to the downside like that. Okay, making this whole single 7 string sequence. Okay, so that will be our correction, and we're going to be looking for upside. So why are we looking at this structure like this and we're looking for upside like that? Because what you guys see here is the end product, but sometimes I do let you in on the long-term view. And the long-term view, I've been showing this from last year. We've been looking at this diagonal from last year, if you can see here. All right, so this is the diagonal that we've been looking at. So just clear this up. So what we are building here is a B wave of the fifth wave within the diagonal. So we had this one, we're looking for this to correct, and we're looking for this upside. So that's why you're looking at me forecasting this correction, because I know after this correction, we're going to get this move to go and complete the diagonal. After the diagonal, expect a big move to the downside. Okay, so what you're seeing here is the front end of a very long-term analysis. We look at this from historical data all the way up to the 1 hour, or sometimes even the 5-minute time frame. We look at the 5-minute time frame as well. Okay, so this could do this if it doesn't go up. So just watch out. It can do this. As you can see that this one came down correctively, so we can get that one, and it can still give us a structure like this. A structure like this will be an even better one, because it will give us time to enter. Okay, so that's what you're looking at on US dollar. Chief, carry on with the rest now. Audi. Now, something interesting with Audi here and New Zealand is that they've got the exact same structure. Let's go for hour. So this, let's take this off here. This may be even making a triangle. We'll have a look here just now. Let's just fix this now. This could even be, no, this is not the one that I was looking at. So what you're looking at here is this corrective structure 1. And now within that after that corrective structure, you're getting 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves up. And now you're getting this 1, 2, 3 waves. So you may get a bit of a push like this and make a structure like this. Okay. All right. So that's what you're going to be looking at on this pair. However, there is a likelihood that this is a triangle and this is playing out something like this. And if it is a triangle, nothing changes it. It will still be a continuation pattern to the downside. So keep an eye on this one. So if this is your triangle, this will be your A, this will be your B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E to the upside, and then continuation to the downside. And that whole thing, your whole correction will be your X wave. So you'll be looking at this one as an A. Let's switch off here. A, B, C, D, E. Up and then down. Okay. Right. For now, you've got a 3-wave move down. You may get just slightly up before you come down. So not tradable until the structure is complete. Wait for the structure to complete. And then New Zealand is exactly the same. So on the New Zealand, you're getting exactly the same. You're getting this one that is possibly a 1A, B, C, D, E before you come down. So that will look something like this. If this is a triangle. Okay, so understand that the triangle and the diagonal is 2 different things. So this is a clear triangle, goes sideways. The triangle has got 5 waves and it goes sideways. The diagonal is a motive wave. Okay, so this is what you're going to be looking at: A, B, C, D, E. See how this goes before we drop. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at. And so this may both Audi US dollar and New Zealand may give you these V patterns, while the euro is giving the last drop. The Audi is giving the last drop. You may be getting something like this, a little bit of a drop before you get up and then a down. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at on both. That's New Zealand. So now look last on the US dollar pairs. Lastly will be US dollar ZAR. So US dollar ZAR, you're looking at this one, has made 3 waves down. 1, you've got 1, 2, and now this looks incomplete. So what you have here is these 3 waves there, expanding flat, and here you may be making another 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, not like that. So another 3 waves. No. You've got a possible expanding flat there, like that. And this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay, and the last pattern could could be a zigzag like that. It can be any pattern. Okay, so if that is the case, that means this is a whole correction that is correcting all of this move for another move to the upside. Okay, so not good news for the ZAR in the next coming days. We are busy correcting with this move, but it is only for upside. Okay, so keep an eye. So this may even be like this. Okay, maybe a running flat like that, but still the structure will be the same and you'll still get that an upside. Okay, so that's US dollar ZAR. Now let's go into the yen pairs. We'll start with pound JPY. So pound JPY, as you've seen, we have traded this move from here and we traded it up, broke there where we were looking for. It came down. This is the move that we're trading now. Okay, so while it was making this expanding flat here, there was no panic because you can see that there was no correction before this move. So as much as it's going up, you've got a nice entry point. You're not worried about that. We're coming down here now. Minimum target is this one. That target can be broken and exceeded, but we are not looking for that. We're gonna wait for another entry after this has come down to this level. Okay, so either this level, not because it's a support level, actually that level, this level is insignificant, so we're looking for this to come down here. Okay, so continuation, it has already gone so far. It may be risky to keep selling here because we are close to this level. Okay, so after that level, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you may be getting a bit of a bounce to the upside. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you how this pair moves and how it is so easy to trade it. Let's look at the daily and look at the whole structure. I show this every week so you can see why we trade it the way we do. Okay, so this is that's the analysis there. Let's have a look. I think I should go to the 4-hour. That's where you'll see the green degree. Yes, that's your green degree there. So you see from the red W here, you've got 1, 2, 3 completing the red. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me fix that. You've got 1, 2, 3 waves here in the green. 1, 2, 3 completing the red. Let me not confuse you. Just follow the green now. Let's just follow the green. We'll just follow the green. That's 1, 2, 3 completing the red. 1, 2, 3 completing the red. You're just following the green degree. 1, 2, 3 completing the red. 1, 2, 3 completing the red degree. 1, 2, 3 completing the X degree. I just need to fix it. This one comes down. But you can see that it's doing the same thing, just making 1, 2, 3 waves. So 1, 2, 3 completing now this red degree that I have not put on as yet. Okay, all right, so now we're looking for this one to drop and give us WXY, XZ to the downside. So that's why we're looking for this to come down, and that will have completed that whole move. Okay, so let's just get this off. So that's what you're looking for. So when we traded this one, it was before we were just looking for this to do another 1, 2, 3. So now you're looking for another 1, 2. We're completing the 3. See, all 3 waves, and now that structure is now complete, and we're gonna expect some kind of reaction, because you can see that this structure is not necessarily going down with a strong move. It is corrective. Very easy to trade this. So now look out for this to come back to this level, because at that level it may form a different structure, a 1, 2, 3 up, a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down, and a bounce and a down. It does not have to give you this one. It can go straight from here. Okay, but anticipate this as well if it happens. That's why we target here, and we know that normally at these levels you will get a bit of a reaction or a corrective structure before you drop. So that's why it is easy for us to exit the trade here and wait to see what happens here. Okay, right. In any case, this trade is running risk-free and profits locked after this correction. After this correction, profits locked. Okay. Right, so that's pound JPY. Yes, look at US dollar JPY. US dollar JPY playing out to the pip. Said last week that you get the drop, you've got the drop here, and you're getting this slowing down pattern here. What you're gonna have, I actually expected a 3-wave move up. 1, 2, 3 here. So that is still possible. this three-wave move to the upside is still possible. Okay, so we've made this correction here. We still this push higher is still possible, but you're gonna need to wait for this flag to complete here. You're gonna need to wait for confirmation here. Okay, 1, 1, 2, 3 here. This correction. Look to see if you're gonna get this push higher. Okay, but that can also just continue with euro. If you check last week, the euro US dollar and US dollar JPY have been doing the same thing. There was no correlation. Okay, there was no inverse correlation. They were going in the same direction. Okay, we know that US dollar JPY and euro US dollar are supposed to be inversely correlated, but last week they were moving together. All right, so that is what affects the correlation coefficient. Okay, so there's still a possibility that this can do this move to the downside, give you a correction, give you this one, give you 1, 2, 3, giving you this whole thing as a correction and a move to the upside. I don't like it when I draw it with the same color like that. You need to see it clearly. So this will be 1, 2. If this one drops here, you'll have this correction here. And that correction will be a three-wave structure like this. Okay, you just mark it like that. And this is 1, 2, and then you expect another three-wave move to the downside, and that will give you something like this. Right, so this one now, I'm giving you two alternatives here. That is a possibility, and this, if you get a bounce up and a correction, is also a possibility. Okay, and that will not change the structure. It will still be a corrective structure for upside. And when you get that upside, that will be the upside that you get on euro US dollar. Okay, so look out for those two alternatives on US dollar JPY, pound JPY, pound JPY. Oh, we've already done this one. Euro JPY. So you'll see Euro JPY and pound JPY have got the exact same structure. So you keep selling euro US dollar, okay, at least up to, let's just check here. I'll tell you now, at least up to the 50% of this. Okay, up to the 50% of this, we should get a reaction. Remember, pound JPY is already approaching here. It's already approaching this level. This does not have to do the same. This one can come around this level and get a bounce if pound JPY is going to get a bounce like that. Okay, so we're still dropping. Continuation, excuse me, to the downside. So look out for any corrective structure for continuation like that. Okay, that's your EURJPY, CHFJPY. CHFJPY, interesting because you're getting a diagonal there. You've got a diagonal, see here, textbook diagonal, and that is your 1, 2, 3, 4. We made a 5, and now are we dropping here already? Are we dropping here already for a three-wave move? So watch out for this one. Could even come and take this level. So if you get a correction here and you get out of this boundary, take this sell. Take this sell on CHFJPY. Okay, it has actually just confirmed. Right, so this is also already confirmed. You may even take this one at market open, put your stop loss around that level and take it all the way down up to that level. Okay, so that one has confirmed, but it needs to get out of the boundary to confirm, out of the diagonal. Okay, not the trend line, the diagonal. Okay. All right, let's carry on. That's CHJPY. All right, so we've done with the CHFJPY. Is it all the yen pairs, or do we still have AUDJPY? AUDJPY, look for continuation to the downside. Okay, this is a corrective structure. Look out for correction, at least minimum to this level. Okay, may even drop even further and give you this 1, 2, 3-wave move. I'm anticipating that it will give you a correction and you're gonna get this 3-wave move to the downside. Okay, you just go daily and see what this one looks like on the daily. So on the daily, you've got a 3-wave move up and a 3-wave correction, and now you're getting another 3-wave move to the upside. But that one needs to drop a little bit first. 1, 2. This one needs to do this first before it goes up. Okay, so that's why we're looking for this drop, because of this WXY move. Okay, so if you look here in the lower degree, you'll have the same thing here, 3 waves within this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That's what we'll expect, that we're going to get a 3 eventually here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, easy. Now you're going to expect a drop when that is completed. Right, so let's just go into the lower time frame, 1 hour, see what you're getting there. So 1 hour, you're already getting that bit of a drop there. It's not necessarily a flex, so this one is not a very good entry point. But if you want to take a risk, you can take it when it opens with a stop loss above this correction. Okay, so I'm looking at this as a pulsing move to the downside, as a correction, but there's still a possibility that this correction can do something like this before it drops. Okay, so that one I'm selling because it has made a 3-wave move to the upside like this. It has made a clear 1, 2, 3 waves to the upside, and after that 3 waves, it has dropped with an impulse and that's busy correcting. So this may be premature because this correction can do something like this, and then we come all the way down to this level. This level, we may be coming like that, and then a bit of a drop before we get that move to the upside that we're looking for. Okay, right, so that's way too far ahead into the future. We've got enough data to see that this correction is incomplete. We may do that, drop down, up, down before we go up. Okay, so keep an eye, see how it develops. New Zealand should be similar, right? So you've got a pulsing move up here. You've got a pulsing move down. The last move was a pulsing move to the. So if you look at New Zealand and Audi, this one has made this 3-wave move to the upside. And that one, let's just bring it together, bring it quickly so you can see the leading and the lagging of the patterns on correlation. So that is Audi on the AUDJPY on the left-hand side, and right-hand side we put on New Zealand. I need to see the 60-minute so you can see what has happened here. Notice something here. So if you look here on the New Zealand, watch. Let's get this off. If you look on the New Zealand, you have 1, 2, 3 wave up, but this one happened here, 1, 2, 3. And after that happened, it broke all the way down below this pattern, and now it's busy correcting. So this one has not broken down as yet. So there is a likelihood that this will also do the same structure, break down before it reverses up. That's why I was analyzing like that, a drop and then a reversal, because this has already done that very same structure, but it's completed it and now reversing like that, or either one more down before you go. But they will be correlated like that. So this one needs to follow what has happened there. Okay, that's all the yen pairs. There's still CAD. So CAD, let's go back to one chart. If you look on the CAD, we look on the daily first. CADJPY. So CADJPY, I wanted to push a little bit higher. At least come and take this level. Possible that it breaks it and then come down. Similar to what Pound JPY, Euro JPY have done. So a structure like this, break and then come down. So keep an eye here and see if we get continuation. But when it breaks up here, expect this move to the downside. Okay. So let's just go into the lower time frame. So don't let these moves and these candles confuse you. So this is a 1, 2, 3 move down, 1, 2. Possible that we're going to get a push higher, or if not, this is just going to give you this structure. Okay, and then push to that level that we want it to go to. Okay, so wait for this corrective structure to complete, and then you'll take this one to the upside before it drops. Okay, so you can still trade up, you can still trade down here. Very clear. If we go back to the daily, show you. So this is the corrective structure that will take us up daily. And we will be looking to get here eventually. We'll be looking to get here. Okay. So this is a candle. These are 2-day candles that are looking downside, and some may be saying bullish engulfing. Okay, there's not even a bullish engulfing here. So this can just be a corrective structure that will take us back up here before we drop. Okay, so keep an eye on this structure. Don't sell the impulses. Don't buy the impulses. Wait for them to give you clear structures. All right, so those are the yen pairs. Now let's do silver and gold. Let's start with okay, the silver here. Where's my gold? I need to get gold. Here it is. So gold, I think that's all the yen pairs. If I missed anything, please let me know, guys. So gold is very interesting. As I said, I've been saying for the last couple of weeks that gold you keep selling. When it was building this correction, you said it's a correction, it's coming down. When it was building this one, it was correction, it was coming down. When it was building this one last week, correction is coming down. So gold, every time it corrects, look for sell. Look for sell all the way up to this level. We are looking for it to come down to this level. Okay, we're looking for it to come down to this level because we are looking at this move here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that move is as a result of this 1, 2, and then we're possibly going to get a bounce up to the upside. So that does not have to bounce there. It may even come and retest this previous 2016 low here. Okay, and give you this structure. So either way, whether it can give you this structure or this structure, it does not make any difference. So gold, keep selling gold to the downside. Same way you're going to keep selling euro US dollar after every bounce. Okay, and why are we doing that? Because long-term view of gold is this one here. I think I've shown you this before. Let's see if it's still there. Okay, clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You had a diagonal there. Let's clean it up a bit and switch it off. Okay, let me just show it with the annotations so it's not confusing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you end your 5 with a diagonal there. And then you get a 3-wave move W, and you're getting this complex correction here like this. So we'll be looking for this to bounce here like that, or if it doesn't bounce, it can give you this one here, and you get that bounce around that level. Okay, so that's how we, when you have caught the trend, that's what I was saying when we started. When you get the trend, do not look any other direction other than the direction of the trend. And now any correction here, look out for the sequence, we're coming down. Okay, we're coming down to that level. All right. So now those who trade support and resistance should ask themselves why this level was not respected, this level was not respected, and why this level will be respected. Okay, so that's because this is a structural level and this is an insignificant level. Okay, it's an insignificant level. So support and resistance has got its flaws. You need to understand what you're doing. Okay, so that's what we unteach in the course. We unteach you and teach you the right way. All right, let's look at silver now. Silver, same thing. Same thing, you're looking for corrective structure to the downside. So silver is interesting. So if you look at the 2016 low, okay, there's a possibility to get to that level. But for now, what we are looking at on silver is the structure expanding flat. It's not even an expanding flat, it's a running flat. And we're looking for this 3-wave structure there. Let's get this one here. This 1, 2, 3 here. And that 3 should be almost the same size as this one. So if I check that, we'll be expecting silver to end around, that will be incorrect. That structure will not be right. Let's just clear all of that. So the correct structure here with silver will be, okay, this running flat will not make sense. So this is the structure on silver. This is what you're going to have, and you're going to get this corrective structure here, something like this. So silver can come down to this level, and if it does, it can get you to that level, and it will give you a similar structure as this one here before we get a bounce. But that bounce may be a corrective bounce, completing that whole structure like this. 1, 2, 3, and a move down. Okay, so for now, you are busy with this sideways move. So wait for it to complete. Short term, wait for this to give you that bounce here. If it's going to give you that, and then retest the 2016 low like that, and then you will expect that bounce, which will be this move, completing the correction like that. Okay, so that's silver. Continuation to the downside. Either test this level or that level. Right now, let's go to the pound pairs. Let's start with, we've already done pound US dollar. Let's start with pound CHF. Let's go to the pound. Pound CHF, very easy. Pound CHF, very easy. You've got 1, 2, and this one ended with that V pattern there. We've got 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back, 1, 2, 3 up, and now you're looking for this to come down. Okay, so that's what we've been looking at all along. So look out for correct continuation to the downside. So pound, you're looking for continuation to the downside, mostly, generally, on all the pound pairs. Okay, so this is the daily, this is the weekly. Let's go daily. Daily confirming the same thing. Okay, so we'll look out for corrective structure to the downside. What you have here is a 1 and a correction here. Another entry here. So 1, 2, 3 move to the downside. Okay, so minimum around this level. Okay, so, and see what reaction you get. You possibly just get a 3-wave reaction for continuation to the downside. So that's what we're looking at on all the pound pairs. Now you'll see that very clearly when we do pound AUD and pound CAD. All right, so now if you wanted to learn anything about correlation, leading and lagging structures, watch all the videos from the beginning of this year where we have been looking at the relationship between pound CAD and pound AUD. And I'm going to do that just now, and you will see how this is playing out. Okay, so let me bring pound AUD on the right-hand side. We do pound AUD and pound CAD at the same time. Make both daily charts. So you see how powerful this is, and this is what I have been forecasting from the beginning of this year. Okay, now look at this here. Let me see if I can get to full screen. Let me make it full screen so we can see clearly here. That's much better. Yes, so we can see it clearly. I'm using a smaller screen here, so I need to see this clearly now. Right, so the two pairs had these big moves to the downside. Similarly here, you can't see it. It is here. That is the big move to the downside, but I'm gonna take it off screen. So, okay, I think I can still put it on there. Now you get this move to the downside. Also, passing move. Now what happens is that this one completes this 3-wave bounce like that. 1, 2, 3. All right. So when it completes that 3-wave move up to the downside, to the upside, it made this move to the downside. Let me see here. There's something on the chat box. Okay, somebody's just greeting. So let's carry on. We made this passing move like this, a 3-wave move to the downside. And that move even has a harmonic pattern like this. Okay, this harmonic pattern. And we traded this harmonic pattern to the upside and targeted here. Okay, so now what was happening this year? This is what we've been looking at. We've been trading pound CAD this year, just looking at what happened here, because pound CAD was only making this move now. 1, 2, 3. You see that pound CAD move has only happened from the beginning of towards the first half of this year. Now after that, you see that after the 3-wave move, pound AUD dropped in a 3-wave fashion. Now this is what we focused from right when we're still going up, that we're going to get a move similar to this. Now we are dropping. How many moves, how many waves are we dropping in? We're dropping in 1, 2, 3. What did I say last week when we were here? I said I don't expect a bounce here. I expect this to continue all the way down, just like that, because similar to what happened here. You see what happened when it made that three-wave bounce? Let's clear this side. When it made this three-wave bounce here, okay, my mouse is just gone quiet on me. Okay, I'll continue with this. So when this one here made this three-wave bounce, we traded this. This is that correction that we traded. I was showing you from the trade recap that we were looking for this to go up and then come down. But we were doing that correction on the left-hand side. This correction up, and now we're coming down. And we're looking for this to come all the way like that. Okay, and we will look for a reversal around the 88% area so that we can get now again this move that has already played out on pound Audi, so that we can get this move now. So you see here, we are just copying and pasting what has already happened. It is so easy to trade now, but all you need here is to get the timings right. If we get to the 88, the same way we bought this one on the 88, and I remember buying this one during news events, I think it was BOE interest rate announcement, we bought it here on the 88. Okay, so similarly here, you are dropping. You're going to be looking to buy around the 88. Okay, so that is the power of market correlation. If you do not understand market correlation, if you don't understand correlation strength and correlation coefficient, you will not be able to make money using the elite wave strategy. Okay, all right, so I see there's something on the chat box. Let me just check quickly. That's just John greeting. Hello, John. Let's carry on. Right, so let's exit the full screen here. Okay, so let's carry on. That's pound Audi and pound CAD. Very interesting pairs. So now let's carry on with the rest. We've done pound Chief, pound Audi, pound New Zealand. Let's do pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand. Let's go back to one chart now. So both of them, you're just looking for continuation to the downside, whether it's pound Audi or pound CAD. So pound CAD, that's what you're looking for. You can see it has broken this low. Okay, now why was this level not respected if you're trading support and resistance? Because it looks like a significant level to me. Now you'll ask yourself, why is this one not going to be respected and why this one is going to be respected? Okay, that's because it's a structural level. Okay, so let's look at that. Looking for continuation. And pound Audi last 2 weeks, we were looking for this one. I actually wanted this one to bounce up one more because looking with the naked eye, this looked like a corrective structure. That did not happen. Okay, then you would have lost that trade to the upside. So now what is happening here is when that structure changed, we had a sell setup there that we discussed last week. So let's go to the 4 hour and see that sell setup. Okay, I did not sell this because it was not clear for me. I was actually looking for the whole thing to be a corrective structure for upside. Okay, so that's why I did not sell, but we could see clearly that here is a corrective structure and we're going to get a move to the downside. So this is what happened after last week. You had this one breaking down here, corrected, textbook. So anybody who would have been interested would have had a nice entry there, put a stop loss just above the flag. But what happened was that would have gone and taken you out. So it's normal. You would have lost this trade. But even if you did lose the trade, but what the nice thing is that once it does that, it is giving you a clearer structure now, a 1, 2, 3 wave structure, and it's showing you now that the correction is completed, and now you've got a clear downside. Now, if you get a lower degree flag like that, right now you enter and target the next low, which is around here. Let's just go to that low, and you target this low, the previous low here. And I'm expecting that this low here will be broken as well. Okay, so that's how you're looking at this one, pound Audi and pound CAD. Easy. Pound New Zealand. Sorry, okay. This is actually pound New Zealand that I was discussing, not pound Audi. So pound Audi is a similar structure here. Pound Audi, you would have had that similar structure, exactly the same as what happened on pound New Zealand. That's what you would have had. And then pound New Zealand, the same structure as well. So pound New Zealand or pound New Zealand is even clearer, was even clearer. So you would have sold this according to the strategy, but it would have taken you out when it did this. Okay, but that is a textbook flat correction. Now look, why do I say it's a textbook flat correction? It's a 1, 2, 3 up. So when you get a correction like this, you typically expect that it is completed and you expect downside. That's why I was expecting downside. Okay, so what happens after that, you get another 3-wave move to the downside. After that, you get a pulsing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move to the upside. And now you've got yourself a nice regular flat correction. After that, you get a drop, showing you that that correction is done. So now you can look for continuation on this one here and possibly break all the way down back to this level. Okay, so that's how structure changes. So you will lose some along the way. Okay, this is not 100%. It's not 100%. Okay, the strategy is solid and it's 100%. But the thing is, we will make mistakes like this. Okay, we'll make mistakes like this. But the guys in the premium group know that we've got a strategy to cater for in case market makes these moves like this. So we anticipate these patterns. But for this one specifically, it will not have given you an opportunity to put it to break even. Okay, right, so let's carry on with the rest. So that's pound New Zealand. What do you expect? You expect continuation to the downside. As I said, the pound looks bearish overall. All right, so now let's look into the euro pairs. Let's do the euro pairs now, EURAUD. Okay, EURAUD, let's look in the daily. If you look on the, let's go to the daily here. So EURAUD, there is a diagonal that we're looking at here. So two things can happen here with this one. Let me get my annotation tool here back on. Sorry guys, my mouse is just a little bit jittery here. So you've got this textbook diagonal, ending diagonal. That makes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And now you're making this A. And I thought this was going to make a B that retraced the top here, like that. And this pushes up like that. So there is that possibility that we're going to push up like that, and that becomes a B. Either that or this is the B that is completed, and now we're going to retest the low here. Okay, so either way, we're going to have to see what the structure gives us. So let's look at the structure in the 4-hour and see which one we are getting. Are we getting confirmation for upside, or are we getting downside? I'm still more inclined to upside because of this corrective structure. Okay, this corrective structure, and I'll be looking for this one to complete. This is a channel coming down like that. I'll be looking for this structure to complete. Okay, so when you look at a structure like this, it looks very complex, and this is where some waivers ignore the labelings or identification of the structure. You should not leave the identification of the structure just because it looks complex. So what you have here, you've got a 3-wave move down and you've got a 3-wave move up. One. So if you don't label these things, you will not understand the end of the sequence. So there's a possibility on the euro here that this could be the last move to the downside before we get a bounce up like that. Okay, so let's just draw this one clearly. This will be in the same degree as this one. Let's do that one in green so you can see what we're looking at. So this will be a 1, 2, 3, and then this will be another 1, 2, 3. So you see that these are two. There's a flat correction in combination with another flat correction giving you this WXY structure. So let's see if this will push even lower, or if we're going to get a bit of a bounce here for the move to the upside that we're looking at on EURAUD. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at on EURAUD. Let's look at the rest of the pairs. EURCAD, very simple. You just trade it the same way as pound CAD. That's the one I showed you on the trade recap, that your next stop is here. Okay, why was this not respected? Why was this not respected? Why was this not respected? That's because when the market is on a pulse, it does not respect any zone other than the structural levels. And this is the next structural level. And I will expect, similar to pound CAD, that this be broken as well without any bounce to the upside. So just trade it, continue to the downside. So even when it was making this pattern, we were selling here because there was a three-wave move to the upside. Remember the first three-wave move we sold was this one, almost that guaranteed move, and I updated, we sold another one here when it did this. So this is how you understand market structure. When it did this again, we were selling again. So now you've got 1, 2, 3 trades running in one, and they're all risk-free. Easy. Okay, so the CAD pairs have been very simple and have been rewarding. Pound New Zealand, sorry, Euro New Zealand. Similar, we are looking for this structure. Look forward for this structure to complete, and then we're going to be looking for it to go to the upside like that. Okay, it's a correction, but for now it's still pushing a little bit lower. Rather wait for this confirmation for upside when it happens, and then we're going to start looking for downside when it reaches. Let's just check the level that we are looking for it to get to. If we go to the daily, you'll see the level that we're looking at on Euro New Zealand is this one. We're looking for it to come to this level. So this is a correction, but this correction can do this. You must anticipate these moves. As much as you know where the market is going, know that the market does not go in a straight line. So you may get this flag correction here like that, and it may be incomplete, can do this down first before it goes. But we're overall looking for it to come down, come up to that level. That's pound, that's Euro New Zealand. So let's look at the rest. Euro pound. Euro pound. Also looking for a bit of a drop here to this level, maybe the last one before we get downside here. This whole thing here is a 11 swing sequence, 3, 4, 8, 11. So 3, 4, 7, 3, 4, 7, 8, 11. Yes, 3, 4, 7, 8, 11. Okay, so that is your W, X, Y, X, Z. So we're looking for one more up before we come down on pound. So we have been looking for it to retest that level that has now happened. So we may get one push higher before we come down. So that's pound, euro pound. Pound chief, nobody should have missed this one. You should not have missed this one. We spoke about this one. And I told you, according to our strategy and rules and the indicator that we use, this has confirmed a move to the downside. When it was here, I said this one, sell. I think if you go 2 weeks back, that's exactly what I said. I said sell this. It has confirmed all the moves. Okay, all the rules, all the guidelines that we use to take a trade, it has confirmed. Go and watch that video. I explained why that will drop like that, and that has now happened. Should have been in the trade. Okay, so that's pound chief. Very easy. Okay. All right, so I think that concludes all the pairs here. So let's just look at some of the CAD and the AUD pairs. So if we're just looking here on the daily, see if we're gonna have any sort of bounce on AUDCAD. I'm expecting a bounce to the upside. Not quite. I want it to come and test this level before we get any kind of bounce to the upside. Okay, so let's see what happens. If you get a correction here, that is continuation. Okay, if you get an impulse here and a correction, then there's a possibility that you're going to get at least a three-wave move or a retest of this level before you come down. Okay, so two alternatives there. Let's look at CADCHF as well. Before we look at oil, CADCHF. CADCHF possibly push a little bit higher here because it has made a 1, 2, 3 waves to the upside. Even a three-wave move could be on the cards to come and retest this level here. Okay, but at the same time, there's a possibility that this can just do that here and give you another three-wave move before we drop back to this level. So for now here, you need to wait. You need to wait and see what structure develops, because there's also a possibility for it to just push up like that. Either way, it will still be a three-wave move. And even if it gives you a three-wave back, it will still be a 3 waves up and 3 waves back and another 3 waves to the upside. So wait for read to confirm if you are not in this trade. I'm not trading this. All right. So let's have a look at oil. Oil on the daily. So last week, we looked at this as a pulsing move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this correction has completed. Now the question is whether this is all the correction and we're going to get another one like that, or whether this is going to give us, okay, let's go to the 4-hour. So we can see clearly. Let's go 4-hour and understand that correction and see what we are getting. Okay. So you can see the corrective structure that we forecasted spot on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we got to the downside. A, B, C correction, and then you get this move to the downside. Okay, now you can see that it has retested that level and made a pulsing move to the upside. So possibilities are this is a correction, wait for it to complete, come and retest this top. There's a possibility that after retesting this top, we're going to get another move like that, okay, to the downside. So that will be an A, B, C. Excuse my writing now, my mouse has stopped and I'm using the laptop pad. But it shouldn't distract you anyway. You should still be able to see the structure. So that whole thing will be a flat correction like that. Easy. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at oil. Look out and check that this correction is complete. And see if you get a sell setup when this is done with that move. Okay, so that's what oil looks like. Now we can look at the indices. SPY, very interesting. The indices have been playing out to the pip as we've analyzed. So now the SPY is now approaching this level. This is the level that we've been looking for it to get to. So possibilities here, come back up and go down and complete that move to that level. The others have already broken that level, so there's a possibility that the S&P 500 will do the same. Okay, so this is actually the SPY chart, but it's exactly the same as the S&P 500 chart. Okay, S&P 500. Let's just bring out the right one. So somebody has alerted me of this, but it's exactly the same chart. You will see S&P 500. There we go. So it's the same structure. Should be the same structure as you can see. Doesn't change anything. You got the corrective structure here last week. This is what you should have traded, break to the upside. So you're just looking for it to retest that level. Right, and the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ is a little bit different because it has now broken that level that we're looking for the S&P 500 to break. So this is the level that the NASDAQ has already broken. Okay, it has already made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to see if we're going to get a big correction here, another big correction for continuation to the upside. Okay, so doing exactly what we forecasted. So here, look out for a correction in the 1 hour degree, at least that level, but there's a possibility that this can still push a little bit higher. Okay, so that's the NASDAQ, UK 100. Okay, UK 100. After doing that the correction that the S&P 500 is in and the one that the NASDAQ has completed is this one. These are the fourth waves in the higher degree, this one. So now the S&P, the FTSE 100 has already broken that level and it is now correcting around that level. 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves up. So possibilities are that this will give us another 3 waves like that and it will be a corrective structure like this and we will still push up, because this continuation and it will be a flat correction. Okay, so keep an eye and see what structure develops there. When this is complete, then you can take it up. Okay, so wait for it to complete and take it further up. The Nikkei should be similar. You can see the structure on the Nikkei is this one, 1, 2, 3. That's the one on the S&P 500 and all the other indices, the NASDAQ as well. So you've got a 1, 2, 3 down. Now we're getting a push 1, 2, Is this going to be the correction that gives us something like this that pushes further up? As you can see, the indices are bullish. We're just going to get into correction and retest that level. That's the level that the NASDAQ has already broken at this stage. Okay, so watch out and see that we get to that level. That is the Nikkei and the DAX. DAX. Okay, the DAX looks like it wants to drop, but because the other indices are looking upside, you can look at the DAX as wanting to do a correction here and push to that level. So you can see that if you are just looking at the DAX alone, you are going to think that this is a corrective flag and it's going to drop to the downside. But because you're looking at the market as a whole, and you can see the rest of the indices are looking upside, and now we're busy with corrections, you'll see that you'll expect that the DAX will, even if it's going to go down here, it's not going to be a trend reversal. It will just be a corrective structure for upside, maybe at least to retest that level before we talk about this one. Okay, so the Nifty, let's look at the Nifty now. Nifty should be doing the same thing. Indices have been bullish. Okay, so looking for continuation. You see this one has already broken this level, the FTSE has not, and now you're getting a corrective structure here for further move to the upside. Okay, so we're gonna clear that. So look out for continuation to the upside on the Nifty. Okay, so I have to show you that the Sun Pharmaceutical stock that I'm trading, that I'm tracking for some of my Indian traders who would like to trade the stocks on the NSE. All right, so there's Sun Pharmaceutical. So those who are interested in this one, I just look at this one just to show that the theory works in any market. So last week what we discussed on this one was that this was going to push higher, and it has now happened. Okay, so I was actually expecting that this will go right up, but I'm seeing something a little bit different, and we need to be cautious now if you're trading this stock, right? So what you see here is that you had a three-wave move to the upside, okay, and a three-wave move back to the downside. So this is an ABC move, AB, and this could be a flat correction. And if this is a flat correction that will come and tag here, then that move to the upside may not happen now. We will have a drop first, another drop before we go to the upside. Okay, so keep an eye on this one. At this level, there's a very high likelihood that this will reverse like that. If that move does not happen like that and you get a three-wave correction like that, as a bigger structure like that, then you're going to take it as a continuation and our structure will still be valid. But for now, we have been tracking this one from right at the bottom. This is where we bought this one right here. So you should have made a lot of money, but when you get to this level, protect your profits. Either exit and wait for another entry, but protect your profits at that level. Okay, that could be the last one. Okay, all right, so let's carry on there. Well done, Harry. Well done. All right, let's now look at the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has not changed any structure that we've been analyzing for the last couple of weeks since the beginning of the year. Since this drop, we have always looked at this as a three-wave structure. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now this one was the start of the correction here, correcting that move really, to the downside. So now what does this look like it's doing? It looks like we're getting 1, 2, 3. So we got this bounce that we were looking for, wanted it to come and retest this top. Okay, doesn't look like it's going to do that now. So let's see, there's a possibility that this will now come and retest this level here. Okay, so either this, okay, this is actually like this. What you have here, this structure. So first thing, you must remember, the first thing before you put in any numbers or any letters, you identify the structure. And this is the structure that I'm identifying here. It's a running flat. This looks like a running flat. Let's get this one cleared out. We've got a running flat here. See, it breaks the low, does not break the top. So if it has given you that structure, that means that this is the structure that you're looking for. This is a 1, and there's 1, 2, 3 here in yellow. and you're looking for this one to come back and retest this level. Okay, and then the bounce should come in the red degree, because that will be this degree here. It should come in this degree to retest this level. That is if we get to retest back the 12,000 area. And if we get that structure and it plays out like that, then we're going all the way back. All the way back. And that is what all the rest of the cryptocurrencies are doing. So what will this structure be like? It will be a WX complex correction here, and then a Y to the downside. You can imagine how far down we will go on this one. Okay, so let's look at the rest. If you look at Litecoin is already on 73 cents. So now Litecoin has not done the structure that we were looking for it to do. So we wanted it to come and retest this level, but instead it has made what looks like a running flat like that, or even this. So this is a 3-wave move down and a 3-wave move up, and now it's making another 3-wave move to the downside. So now let's just check something here quickly. We check this level here, and we project that and see how Litecoin is playing out. So if this is your W on Litecoin X, so Litecoin may go right back to the lowest level. Okay, right back to the minimum. Okay, I'm even out of space here, so let's just check here. Let's just check here. What would happen if that was your correction? Let's do that quickly. You can see I've already got it projected. So that is the level that we will expect Litecoin to go back to, around 38 cents. Around 38 cents will be your blue box area. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at. All right, so that's Litecoin and Ethereum. Let me just mark that blue box. Let's just mark the blue box. That's where we're going to be anticipating the end of that correction on Litecoin. Done. Right, and then Ethereum. Ethereum is lagging the other two pairs. So you can see here 3 waves down, a pulse, and all of this is a correction. And now we're looking at this one here as a 3-wave move, and it looks like we're going to come back and retest this level. The others have broken it. There's a possibility that this one can break it as well, or even come back and retest before you come down all the way to the downside. Similar to all the other cryptos, very bearish, medium to long term. Okay, so any move to the upside will be just a corrective bounce. Now, lastly, looking at Ripple. Ripple, the same. Ripple is the same, because you also had here this 3-wave move to the downside, starting from here, and you had this 3-wave move. While Bitcoin was bouncing, the rest were just correcting for a further move to the downside. That's why Bitcoin never got to go. Okay, so similarly here on Ripple, you're looking for it to go right back to the low around this area here. Okay, we currently on 43 cents, going back all the way to 19. So the cryptocurrencies are very bearish. Okay, guys, we still managed, even if I only had a laptop, one screen in front of me. That's all I wanted to share with you this morning. Wishing you all the best for the week ahead. Hope you make lots and lots of money. Good luck trading. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Thank you for attending. Thank you for watching. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.